How's it going out there? This is the Cool Club. I am Cool Rabbit, and today we're gonna talk about Dragon Ball Daima versus Dragon Ball GT. I've been thinking about this ever since Dragon Ball Daima has released. Right now, I've just finished watching the latest episode. I'm still not convinced. I'm still not interested or invested in this story. I'm really just looking at this as like a Saturday morning cartoon at this point. Dragon Ball, we all know Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT set a standard. Dragon Ball Z definitely set the standard for, that was the most popular Dragon Ball series. That was what put Dragon Ball on the map across the world, was Z. And that's because of the content, because of the everything that Z brought, the gravity of the level of fighting, the seriousness it had, the power levels, everything that people love about Dragon Ball was started in Dragon Ball Z. Now, these things were being cultivated in Dragon Ball. Like there were definitely serious moments, and there was a gravity of loss, and there was definitely power, a lot of combat mechanics and combat concepts in Dragon Ball. But Dragon Ball Z set that standard, and no one can deny that Dragon Ball Z was what put Dragon Ball on the map across the world. And the beauty about Dragon Ball GT, even though a lot of people try to crap on that, is that Dragon Ball GT progressed the story. The characters were a lot. If you look at the Daima, there's no progression in these characters. Actually, there's regression because everyone gets changed into a baby. Not unlike in GT, where it was only Goku who was transformed back to a child, which made more sense and also made for a better story, I would say. But if you compare the child Goku now, he's so weak to the one who's in GT. There is no comparison. Look at these pictures. Super Saiyan Kid Goku in Daima looks weak. Look at Super Saiyan Goku in GT. He was going Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. He had a gold tail. Like this, GT progressed the characters. Vegeta still dressed the same in this. Like, do you change clothes? Do you sleep in that? Saiyan armor? Like in GT, Vegeta has an older daughter, bruh. Trunks grows up a little bit. He's an adult now. Has his own thing going. You have and Vegeta's changed clothes, his attire. The only problem in GT is that Akira Toriyama didn't oversee like the episodes and things like that. So they kind of tried, and they also were rushing. It seemed like they were rushing through GT, unlike how they did Z. Like some of the fights, and that's why I feel like they should have redone GT instead of shoving Daima down our throats. We don't want this. Give everything. Look at all of the cool concepts and characters that was in GT. Just redo it and extend, like how you did Kai. Remake it, and extend the episode and extend the fights. Like look how long that fight with Frieza lasted. I tell you, it seemed like that fight lasted about 3 months. Or more. But that's how the fight should have lasted with Super 17. They should have allowed Vegeta and the others to put up more of a fight in these in GT, because it was just basically the Goku show until towards the end. So they should have tweaked that and allowed GT, the other characters, especially like Vegeta, to be able to extend those fights. Like when the people came from hell, Nappa came from, they should have extended that fight and let Vegeta and Gohan and Goten and Trunks be more of a threat. They should have let Trunks and Goten fuse more, like just to take care of more of the threats. When the Shadow Dragons came, it shouldn't have just been Goku and Pan taking care of. Vegeta should have caught Rex. You should have, that's the things that needed to be tweaked. When they fought Lud, they could have extended that fight and made him more formidable. But even Lord Lud was still an interesting character. I don't care what anyone says. They in the Para brothers, though, those rappers, they could have made them more interesting. It's ways to be that they could have just tweaked GT instead of coming out with a totally different anime. Like Daima is due to some conspiracy in hell that Goku and his friends will turn the kids. They turn small. And I mean, it's ridiculous because Trunks is still young. No one changes. It's picking up right from Super. They all still dress the same. They all still look the same, but they changing. So Trunks is still very young. He's a kid. So when this wish is made, they revert him to a baby. It's ridiculous. The characters, they're not that interesting. Glorio, Pansy, this little girl who's throwing, who's in the demon realm. Glorio, who's in the demon realm, using a spaceship to get from the demon realm to Earth. It's like, why would you need a spaceship? A lot of this stuff just doesn't make sense. It's not as interesting. Again, it's like you just reverted to Dragon Ball. This is on episode 4, and I'm not happy with any of those episodes. I don't feel like you're gonna see something like a baby Vegeta fighting Goku, where baby Vegeta, his whole planet was wiped out by the Saiyans. He has definite motive to want to kill Goku. What happened to Oob? We want to see Oob. We want to see Oob. Like, we want to see Oob merge with Majin Buu to get his ultimate power, because he is the reincarnation of the evil Kid Buu. We want to see that. Like, extend that fight between him and baby Vegeta. And this may sound like a rant, but I'm just honestly saying what everyone's thinking. No one is promoting Daima like Dragon Ball Z, or those same fans. I guarantee you, like, they're thinking like I'm thinking. We need to see some high level, high impact fights. People were getting killed in Dragon Ball Z, and you felt like there was some a high threat level there, because you couldn't just get them back. There wasn't all these universes, where you'll see a different version, and you couldn't just get those people. Like the Dragon Balls, you had just one set of Dragon Balls there, and you couldn't just get them back. People couldn't just come back multiple times. You also, in Dragon Ball GT, there was a continuation of that story. The Dragon Balls had been used so much for so many things. They absorbed so much evil. That's where you had the Dark Dragons, the Dark Star Dragons, the Dark Star Dragon Balls. It made sense, and it was you felt that threat level there, even in GT, and a sense of urgency where they had to go travel around the universe. But only Goku was a kid. It made sense, and he was still powerful, a lot cooler than this Goku you have now, who's just reverted to Dragon Ball Goku, basically, or even worse. People try to crap on GT, man, but y'all really need to go give it a second look. But look, with that being said, this is the Cool Club. I am Cool Rabbit. You know how we do things. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we got more videos on the way. I'm gone.